Okay,
Okay.
so you are live. We are live. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Is anyone's there? Hello, Science Sniper.
Hello.
Yeah, you are the first one. So yeah, how are you? How are you? And how's your guys been doing?
Saw you times.
Oh, so
Yeah, different countries.
yeah. In case we hear like earlier. In-
Science sniper maybe on.
Yeah.
You want to know?
Hello.
Hello. Oh,
Hello, guys. Yeah, more and more guys.
Yeah, so maybe anyone joining live, could you just say type the hi here so you could see each other.
Yeah, we got. Hello,
hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, of course, remember. Yeah, yeah. Oh, remember me. Welcome all. Yes. Oh, let me set the
Welcome.
banner. Oh,
Yeah.
So how's the video and audio? Seems like a little bit frozen.
oh the video is a little bit frozen. Is the voice clear?
Anyway, wait.
Yeah.
Things
Okay.
are very,
Yeah.
we can control it.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. So we still have Luke today. Yeah, and on the podcast today. So how are you guys? Have you guys have a great day, great weekend?
Mhm.
I mean last week. So any
Yeah.
plans to print any project for you guys? Fine. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
And today we'll have 4 different topic that about 3D printing. Yeah. And if you're interested, just keep on watching us. Yeah. And first, let's welcome our old friend Luke. Yeah, welcome, Luke.
Hello.
So, what about introduce yourself to our new viewers, Luke?
Yeah. Maybe we
Okay. Yeah, we should probably do that each time we get into that mindset where everybody knows everybody. So I'm Luke Hatfield. I help with the Sovol Facebook groups. I do some beta testing. I'm well known in the community over the last 6 or so years for contributing tips and tricks and troubleshooting type things for the basic setup of the printers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
very master. So how about introduce ourselves
Yeah.
for the new viewer? Okay,
Yeah.
so let me introduce us.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
okay. So, hello guys, this is Paul from Sovol's marketing team, and yeah. So, one more thing is I'm doing the kind of project in YouTube channel. If you guys enjoy, maybe you can follow the sort of topic. Okay.
And I'm Holden from Camgrow. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all.
Okay. And this is Wanda from Soul marketing team, and I'm also doing projects on Instagram. And if you are interested, just follow us Soul 3D on Instagram. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Ben. So let's kick the topic.
Okay, the topic.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all,
Yeah.
okay, someone says lagging. How about now? How about now? It's lagging.
Your audio has been pretty steady. It's the video that was behind, but we've got the message up about the klipad50 and the open source.
Okay. Okay, I see.
So let's
so-
get started. The first topic.
Yeah, let's get started. The first topic. So the first topic is about the Sovol klipad50 and open source. So hope the voice is clear. So in the last week, Sovol released an update to Sovol klipad system on GitHub, and this belongs to a software open source for SV07. So on it, you can learn about the feature and advantage of klipad50 hardware and software preparation and connection tutorials. So let me hit the link hit the link here so you guys can check about this. So now I'm gonna talk about the features and advantage of klipad. So first of all, klipad onboard powerful 4-core 64-bit core SoC. So and it's with 1 GB of DDR3 memory, which is really great one. And in addition, the klipad comes with DC 12 and 24 volts power supplies, which is more stable power supplies. And on the other hand, the Pi comes with HDMI 800 times 480 IPS LCD and capacitive touch screen, which is easy and smooth to use. And moreover, the Pi provides three-way USB interface. So even this one is provide for. Yeah. So it can be connected to the 3D printer main control board and USB wireless network card and USB camera, USB keyboard and mouse sort of. And another feature is come with 2.4G Wi-Fi on board, which is really updating and really developed open source Clipper Pi. Yeah, and the detail is on the link. You guys can check the detail. It's about the preparation and connection tutorial, which is really detailed. And so talk about the open source. So I want to like mention about the rewrap. If you guys know, yeah, of course you guys know the rewrap. Rewrap was name of the most important 3D printing project of 2017. And for open source, we all have to thank Andrew Boyer. I think if you guys know the guy, yeah, of course. I just like, yeah. And the creator of the this is the creator of Rewrap, and who was on with the 3D printing industry award of outstanding contribute to 3D printing, and was named into 3D printing Hall of Fame. Yeah. So what do you guys think about the open source? Like, so if, yeah, yeah. Oh, well, open source is good for the
Yeah, good for
user.
your users, and also both good for the company and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
exactly. For the yeah. So
S-
oh,
yeah.
yeah. So with development of the times, from the point of view, the development of company, the contribute innovation and the product innovation, can be said that like open source is really good for the company as well. And also for the user, for the user experience. And if no open source from the user point of view, there will be the following limitation. So I just research of this. Oh, so if there is no open source, so dedicated machine, dedicated consumable and dedicated line software, that's very limit. And also the software or hardware on software upgrade and are unable if you want to experience new feature and you have to buy a new printer or equipment, something like that, and cannot maintain the machine by user themselves. Yeah, that's open source. Like if you without open source machine, yeah, that's happened. And also no condition, secondary development and experimentation. Yeah, so to summarize, the better user experience and development that we Sovol are committed to open source development of our machine. Yeah, that's what we Sovol
Mhm.
want to do, the open source. The reason also, yeah.
Yes. So, look, what do you think about this move? Oh,
Yes.
so sorry,
ahead.
look, sorry, Zhang Ming. I want first make a clarification. Clarification. Last time, some customers said you are Sovol's engineer. I want to say that Sovol, Luke is not our engineer. Yeah, he just a community admin, which we respect. So that's why we invite him. He do not have any business contract with us. So he say anything, I think free,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And do not
Yeah.
say we
Yeah,
paid
there's-
Luke to say something good. Yeah.
Yeah, so if that person was intimating that
Didn't pay
I'm in your
something.
pocket
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever,
It's like
I would
free,
disagree. I
like free
I
speech.
work with multiple manufacturers, and you're
So
now
for
competitor, and I I don't have a dog in the fight. I do offer engineering feedback to all of the companies when I can, in hopes to have better products in the newer versions as they come forward. And maybe sometimes I even help a little bit more in pointing out manufacturing level things that can help better user experiences. But I am not a Sovol puppet, if that's what they were talking about, because I speak for myself and I don't have anybody curbing my speech on what I say or don't say.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And also I want to say something. Yes, I know that our stream picture is frozen, but maybe you just take it as an audio podcast. So sorry for that, but I think the
Yeah.
voice is clear, right? The image is frozen.
Yes.
Sorry, our internet through VPN is kind of bad. Maybe next time we'll find a good VPN. But anyway, I think the stream flow should be great, except the picture stuff. But if you could listen clearly, we will continue. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the audio seems to be good. And then on the open source, I think one of the people in the chat mentioned that open source is great until it's not maintained. That is true. That was Kyle Johnson. Thanks for that. Yeah, so in a way, because we're working on the mainstream stuff, I'm calling it mainstream because it's where the general community wants to be. Marlin continues to be supported, even though there's a wave to go to Clipper and all this stuff, right? So, you might lose a little bit of general interest in a particular model, but as long as you have the core backbone and the source code, um, you're not really missing out on a lot, right? There might be new things to get developed in the mainstream that you might not be able to add on, but most of the time it's way more than you ever would have gotten with a dedicated firmware machine to begin with. So I don't think we're at risk of losing that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what the open source like useful for like you can maintain the machine by yourself. If the machine like have some update, you can like update by yourself. Like buying not to buy new equipment something. Yeah. When the machine like got some problem, you also like can because the open source you can fix by yourself, and maybe you also can ask our like after sale department about the how to fix, and because the deliver it's really take a long time. So yeah, it's really good to fix by yourself if it's easy problem. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. There is some question here already. So first is this Marnix. He said, "Look, what about the Sovol SVO 6 and the uneven bed? Maybe any suggestion for this?"
Yeah, so they're bringing up something that would be in the long-term production stuff that I haven't gotten any feedback from members on. So he's suggesting that the actual frame is causing the two lower rails to put twist into the bed, causing warpage. I hadn't seen any evidence of that in my test unit that I participated with, and really, any of the quote unquote warping should be taken up in the subplate to the bed itself. If you have a warped bed, I don't advocate people that aren't mechanically inclined go after it, but you can remove the bed and use a straight edge with the backlight, like a flashlight behind a ruler, and look at your bed flatness. And if it's not flat, you can gently use a spool core and put it over it and manipulate it a little bit to get it closer to being flat again. Then once you put it on, make sure your gantry is level to the bed when it's mounted, and then the ABL system will handle the rest. So not ideal. I mean, nobody wants to be messing with that stuff, but honestly, if you take your time about it, it shouldn't be more than about a half-hour turnaround. If you had to take it completely off, sort of straighten it and put it back on. So it doesn't help you with getting one that was messed up, but hopefully that gives you a path to maybe correct what you're running into.
Yeah.
And we can ask staff. That's part of what we're doing here. We can ask staff that maybe they do some dimensional checks between the rods and like a granite surface plate with a couple assemblies to make sure that the hole pockets and the injection molding are lining the rods where they need to be. I'd be really surprised if they're not lined up, but either way, it's something they could look into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Like you for this upgrading or something that you have to like take some time for this. Yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah. So how about let's jump to the next topic? Yeah. And Wanda, would you like to
Yeah.
do would like to like talk about some?
Maybe I answer some question first.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
the T500s, yeah.
And answer some.
Yeah. So, before we jump to next topic, I think we already see that lately the T500 raised some issues seriously. But anyway, I read this first. Guys, I know this is a Sovol chat, but are you going to address the plethora of owners of T500 who are struggling right now with issues? Will this Sovol Congruo Alliance help us? The printer has great potential, but right now there are several people on our forum who cannot get parts, are having issues. Please help us. Yeah. Really sorry for this issue still not resolved, and thank you so much for buying the T500 printers. Yeah, we will responsible till the end, which you have the satisfy solutions. So yeah, today actually our community manage people, which is Holden. He already talked to me about this. Yeah, we will just cooperate inside our with our colleagues, like the operation people. Yeah, we will fix this one by one. We also will reply every post in Comgrow T500 user group and also Comgrow official user group. Yes, we will feedback layer, and also from our after sales department, we also will try our best to fix. Yeah, so we are open to this problem, and we know it. And I want to say that not an excuse, but since this is the first printer Comgrow ever made, so we do okay, and we think we really make a challenge for us, because we not tend to make a very simple printer which copy just others. We do put some effort in it. Of course, we're selling some maybe expensive price, but we think it's a reasonable price. But anyway, since we do not have that high volume, so regarding the part stuff, it's really kind of hard for us to get at some purchasing level. But anyway, we will find a solution for you. Okay.
Yeah, make sure that you get in touch with the Comgrow support, and it may not be as fast as you want, but they're not going to leave you hanging where they're just not going to support the product. Yeah, I haven't had a ton of issues with mine, but recently I've had a minor issue I'm working with engineering on working through, which may lead to some changes to the default settings on some of the stepper driver stuff. But we have to identify that that it's a software problem versus a hardware problem. And I'm being intentionally vague because I don't want people to project my issue onto theirs. When I'm sure what we've defined about my problem, we will be very open about what we found and what ComGrab is going to do to make sure that everybody that has them is aware so that they can be better.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we need to do. And also thanks all the users' patience, and we will like figure out the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone say I have to go. Thank you guys. Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for joining. Yeah. And Manix asks, is it possible to use congruent paths on Sovol? The reason is no, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe Luke could answer this because simply saying that is because it's a totally different structure. But if Luke have any idea, you could also share too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There is no models that cross reference between ComGrab and there. I suppose if you wanted to, you could get the thermistor tables and reuse the thermistor or heater. But yeah, there's not any real cross compatibility, and I wouldn't expect there to be. This is a new big design with a lot of I don't want to call them dedicated parts, but made for printer parts that are not commonly available. Which in a way can be good. They've designed what I think is a really good base design. Most of what I'm seeing is we've got to work through some software glitches, and hopefully with as we get more and more open source with everything, we'll get those minor bugs worked out in the software, and then it'll be just down to did somebody get a defective part here or there. We're on a good track, as I can tell.
Yeah, that's true. Like maybe in the future, we can like figure out how to like use the common parts. Yeah, that's great idea.
There's a back and forth. If you made it with everything that was available off of what you got on Amazon, then they just tell you it's a big parts kit and you're overcharging for it. So you can't beat the community on either side. You're either going to be too simple and they want more advanced, or it's so advanced that they can't get what they need when they need replacement parts. And
so
we're not going to make everybody happy.
About let's jump to the next topic. So the next topic is also about like
Klipper.
yeah, the klipper security and update.
Okay, so I will talk about this a little bit about the klipper update and yes. So lately our continue. I think last community talk with our admin Rory, which also not our employee, just some customer really professional and like Sovol. So they also put some very serious questions to us. So he mentioned that first he wished us Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But the question is he want to give is that a concern he have now lately is that with growing numbers who maybe use klipper or use our printer like SVO7 or SVO7 Plus, who are having breaking issues with their Sovol klipper screens equipped printers. He thinks mostly when they try to update or install actual features on them, there seems to be more and more by the day. Soon, he feared that it's going to get it to a tipping point where people will read about it through all these posts and then stop buying our printers because of this issue. Then he fears that our sales will start fall off and suffer. So that would be a very sad thing to say. So he wonder if we are able to find a solution for this problem, and something that will allow users to update their system and install additional software and features. He also think it's vitally important for any online device to be regularly updated in a safety aspect. So, for one, the debugging security updates can be effectively applied to users' machines to help keep their system safe. As the older system gets the more vulnerable they become. Yeah. So when he first mentioned this question, I can't don't understand. So I made an example for him to understand, to let him and make sure I understand me understand correctly. So I asked that it's like running Windows XP online 2024, and it will have a huge risk compared to use it 2014. I think it's not exactly the same thing. Since I'm a salesperson, I do not know that tech very professionally, but but he replied that yes, essentially it's a very similar thing. Yeah. So I talked to our R&D, and they do get some feedback to me. So look, maybe later comment or maybe have some argument on this. But first I want to say that temporarily uh, we will not provide the update option. Yeah. Um, yeah, we definitely will be uh, hold the warranty for the printer we sell. Yeah, we do give the option, or we choose open source, but we do not responsible for the open source consequences users I think mode later. I think maybe you guys already see the post from Bamboo, because there is also a third-party formula come out. It called the Bamboo, I don't know, Plus or something like that.
Yeah,
So
the people that were not from Bamboo that sort of ported out their firmware in a better package. Yeah, I saw about that the other day. So supposedly they made it run better than the native Bamboo without divulging all of Bamboo's backdoor um, source code that they were trying to be protective of. And yeah, so this is an evolving thing in the community, and this is not an apologetic explanation, in my opinion. What is really happening is the movement within some of the sub programs is moving so fast that by the time they develop and put things out on the market, it's 6 revisions past in GitHub on all the different things when they're released. And then the sub issue to this, and not to explain it away, but traditionally the color touchscreens have had way less ability to be manipulated by the end users, even in our RipRap forum, because they're more complicated. Like the old LCD screens, we can do all kinds of things with them. We can play video games on them, but those screens have so much more complex software that you're not going to see as many people doing changes to the screen. So um, I don't know how far you think you're going to get with the color touchscreen manipulation, but they're very restricted in how much you can do to them, if that makes sense. And it takes a lot of software development time if you're going to do that level of changes to like a touchscreen. So I don't know that that solves the guy's issue, but that's some of the background that's going on with touchscreens and some of the things.
yeah. Okay. So the only concern I have, since I also work in this company or this industry for 5 years, almost 6 years already. So I'm not a tech person or engineer, but I do understand the security stuff. Okay, so I do agree that what our admin said, Rory said, that any online device should be regularly updated. But to my understanding, that I just wonder the problem. What exactly problem will happen? That I give example that if anybody could hack through the Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
okay, and our tech people told me no. I don't know. It's on our side voice. Yeah. So this is the only concern I have. But for another outdated stuff, I think that Spain Marco said that when can we expect on SVO 6 Clipper screen update? Depending Clipper Mincel Crohn's Nest are out of date. Temporarily, I think we will not update anything, but we will make sure all our direction is pushed forward to open source. So it's your choice. You will update or not, but we will not do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's yeah.
it be in the background here with all the source code being available, the main trunks of Clipper available, mainsail, all that. You can choose to, as a user, leave behind what's already been curated for you as the release product, and take whatever's available and the newest editions of those products and see where you can get. You just lose the support of the company in that, because there's no way that they could technically support you once you've done it. That's the double-edged sword that you play with once you quote unquote jailbreak or go off of the provided firmware, right? That's essentially what you're doing. Back in the day, Creality used to have a locked motherboard, so you could not update firmware. Well, we figured out that you could unlock the chip by manually hooking up a device to it and put a new bootloader in it, and then you could do it. And we did it often enough that finally they gave up on it, and now all of their printers can just use a .bin file and have firmware in 20 seconds, just as long as you put the card in. So, in a way, a lot of these companies are reacting to what we are demanding of them, and then sometimes cutting them off at the knees for doing what we asked. So, yeah, there's two ways to look at it: glass half full, glass half empty. But that's the current situation. You can either take what's provided by the company, with maybe some of the limiting factors of the touchscreen or whatever that you're at odds with. And I agree that sometimes the factory firmwares leave a lot to be desired. There could be better bed leveling code put in, and some other things that I'd like to see as sort of quote unquote the standard. And over time we can work towards that. But either take what they bring or go the open source route and open it up, and then
Yeah.
go down that
That's
path
true.
of creating
And
your own
also,
stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
the Manic say that. Okay, probably is this one. Yeah, and also the last one. Yeah, honestly, if you want to do all this level change, you need to upgrade and Raspberry Pi with touch screen and Clipper built from scratch. So since like the question is asking for look.
Yeah, I sort of just answered it with what I was saying, but
Oh yeah. And I want to
yeah.
show
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Okay, I want to maybe address again that. So from a sales perspective, so I think the rules are all the same. I just since Bamboo just have this kind of situation, so I think I also checked the teaching text video. That said that damage is caused by the use of the unofficial firmware and or modifying updating firmware with unofficial tools or methods are also not covered under the warranty terms. But this only I think suit for the sales perspective. So since we will make sure or try our best to make the open source, so we will do this. We will make this option for the community, and we also will rely rely on the community to fix some of this later problem. Since one thing I want to mention, I think as so many of you already know that if you are tech savvy, you know that our main board or some of our printer use MakerBase. There is our partners. So they also have their strategies. So about open source, sometimes they think they have some effort in it. They maybe do not want to open source. But for me personally, or as Sovol as brand, I insist from day one that we need to open source. But sometimes there is some circumstances that the partner do not want, since they think they have some effort. Maybe even, I don't know, break the GPL license if they have something like that. But since it's their board, we and as the temporary situation is always small, so sometimes in this situation we have to have a partner which reasonable for us, and they have their roles. But we are trained best to do open source. But from sales terms, I think everybody should be same, like Bamboo just in their warranty statement that the modify stuff, which means that anytime you just update it or use an unofficial formula, you just break the warranty a second. But on the other time, we will help. Okay, we will help with the community. That's why I bring Luke and also the Rory and also many other professional users. They just actually know this, but they just help the people who do the upgrade, modify, or anything like that.
So just and keeping up with the conversation, Span Magoo said, so he's hearing that if you have out-of-date software, that's the path that Sovol will continue to take, or we need to take on more risk and losing support. I don't think that's really what's going on. Sovol will update their firmware, just like Creality does and all the other manufacturers do, but like those klipper pads, how far are we from release? Like less than 6 months? I want to say like 4 months since release. So that's pretty early on. And I would imagine here in the near future that they'll do the first of what will be over time several updates as we get more information back about what we need to do with the base touchscreens and what's available and stuff. But so you're not losing their support. It's going to take longer for the manufacturer to prove out what the community wants and what they're going to neatly put in their package that they will hand you again when they do their update. Or if you want the easy fast button, you got to go outside. And I'm not going to speak for Sovol, but generally speaking, as long as you haven't actually damaged the machine by the software per se, I haven't heard anybody say that if you put, if you unbrick it and then you still have a mechanical failure where something wears out or breaks, that this was a manufacturing defect. Nobody said you lose access to that. The only thing you're not going to get is if you call tech support and say, I have the latest version of Mainsail that has a glitch in it. Can you help me with it? They're not going to help you. That's not reasonable. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's how we like. That's why we so will see the community was so important, and yeah, the professional user in community is really helpful. Like people want to upgrade their machine. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I want to say that also add some stuff that you maybe see 4 people just right here except me. Actually, we have like 7 people on the social team, so it's actually even more people than the operating colleagues. So we do, and we also have Luke, and we also actually I have some task for my colleagues that I hope them every month they could find some very professional and respectable customers to join our community team to help the customers. Yeah, except the sales part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sales part. And the money.
And Marnix, he was after my cap. I don't know how many they made, but this was a special request for my representing Sovol at the East Coast Rip Rap Festival. So I don't know how many they had printed, but probably less than 30. And I don't even know how many of them actually made it to the
I,
US.
yeah, I think it's all right. I think Paul, we will contact this customer later. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
we will make that happen. Okay, if you like our hat, that's an honor.
We will make it open.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, and Damien, if you have the pulse of what the core issue here, and you can help us, and are willing to do so or whatever, definitely talk to staff and see what we can do to speed up the process of getting more current. This is where I struggle. I make no apologies for it. I understand how to program. I do actually understand a lot of the code that's being brought into Klipper from having been a machinist, but it is not my strong point, right? And I intentionally have not tried to become the Marlin guy or the Klipper guy because there's other people that have more time and experience into that will be better serving the community to do that. I just try and stand on their shoulders and point people in the right direction when I can.
Yes, that's really nice.
Maybe I still want to add something. The situation now is that temporarily, since as I mentioned, Sovol is really small. So if we grow, actually we definitely want to have even some. I actually talked to the tech lead that if temporarily want to do the security and update very seriously, we need to just add one more people. So since we are still in a very I don't know how to say that, very
Early stages of developing the company.
yeah, we do want to add more people, just specially focus on this and responsible for this, and like update monthly, but temporarily we just only have this kind of help, yeah, or warranty stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize, not to pick on Creality, but they still send printers out with some pretty honorously poor firmware that are in new production in Marlin that could be way more refined than it is right now. And I mean, honestly, like at the Ender 5 Plus, almost every new user is having to write the replace the firmware when they're delivered because it's got so many problems in it. But not to beat on them, I still like Creality, still do work with them or whatever. But everybody in the game has room to improve. That's sort of my point.
Yeah, everybody was really nice. Okay, so hello, Stephen, and let's jump to the next topic. Yeah. So for this topic, it's about ABL system CR touch, and it's Luke's topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So the topic that I brought to the table, each Wednesday, this is supposed to be a regular thing. I think we're going to keep it going. So each week, I'm going to pick some sort of topic to speak to. This week is going to be about ABL systems. I'm just going to do a high overview, discussing some of the pros and cons of a CR touch, a BL touch, capacitive sensors. I left out inductive sensors, potentiometers, and in-bed potentiometers, right? So there is a plethora of ways that an ABL system can work. And there's a dirty little secret that I'm going to bring out here that's going to play into this overall picture as well. So the CR touch, the BL touch, both are sort of a mechanical probe, uses a magnetic cylinder and a probe. Yeah, 3D touch. You can put all of them that are similar to that Science Sniper in that class if you want. But anyhow, so all of those work by having a probe pushed out magnetically, and then when it gets pushed back, it records the point that the gantry height is at when it does that. Then we can create a bed mesh and correct for the bed mesh. Then we've got the capacitive or inductive sensors that either sense or read that there's metal or an object. So capacitive sensors can sense any object, like even glass, although it's does less well on glass, but it can see anything. An inductive sensor has to have a metal plate to see its magnetic field to work. Those can be as accurate as the other ones that we mentioned. The nice thing about a capacitive sensor over the mechanicals is there is no probe to get caught on something bent, broken, damaged. I've actually had the BL touches get sort of metal dust up in the cylinder and causes them to have activation problems. And then we have potentiometers. So if you have a CR6 SE, they have a potentiometer built in on the plate that holds the hot end. That's why it directly pushes the nozzle to the bed. That one's a little bit nice in that you have bed contact directly with the nozzle, so there's no other moving parts to it. There is some issues there if you don't have the hot end heated, or if you have debris on the bed or on the nozzle tip, it can affect its results slightly. And then the extension of that is the in-bed potentiometers. We're starting to see those like in the K1, K1 Max, and the Bamboo Labs and that kind of stuff. So I don't have a formal speech planned out for this, but personally, I like the capacitive sensors. TH3D offers a really nice capacitive sensor. They call it the Easy ABL or whatever. I'm a big fan of that. Prusa has their Pendaprobe. It's another sensor. I think the Pendaprobe is inductive. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. I don't own one. But so it's based on having to have a metal bed, which is why most of their melamine sheet stuff has a metal backer. But yeah, so I like the non-touch version for those. The original BL Touch has a plastic pen, and I've seen them get hot and warped, which causes problems with them functioning, going in and out. Definitely a fan of the CR Touch and its metal probe, so it's not subject to bending and breaking. Still potentially subjective to little metal bits getting up in there and causing problems. And then the potentiometers, those are generally good. They're force-based. There are sub-issues to it. There was a problem with the CR6 SE sometimes where the base calibration when it started was off, and we figured out a workaround where you could turn the machine on with basically a little pressure on the nozzle so that it worked better. But finding that static position or adjusting the quote unquote load cell to sense the bed rate, it has also had minor problems over time. I think that was more of a programming issue than mechanical issue. But so those are the sort of three main ABL systems that are available. And then here's the dirty little secret. If you have any of these ABL systems and you're still all over the place on your Z height to the bed when you're printing, most of the time it's because the mechanism that is the X gantry has a movement problem, or your bed is loose. So the bed is either moving or the gantry is not returning to position correctly. And no matter what kind of sensor you use, until those mechanical things are fixed, you'll continue to have first layer problems. So if your system is generally working where it's moving and sensing and not crashing, and you're still not getting even layers, it's not the CR Touch or the ABL or any of those things. It's that either your bed has movement, or on the single Z drive printers, the X gantry can hang as it moves up and down because of that second carriage. If it's too tight, it can start moving down, and then as it comes up, it can hiccup as it moves up, causing things to get out of whack. So the only thing I can tell you for that is go see my help guide. I have ways of tuning the guide wheels, the eccentric wheels, so that that doesn't happen. And there's a few other minor things in the Z lead gear system that can cause problems that are also easily corrected.
Yeah, that's really great one for the ABL system. For the ABL system secret. Yeah. And also for the CR touch, BL touch, it's kind of like it's kind of like depends people like they favorite one, right? So the man say he favors in CR touch, and it's like it's kind of like like the button or touch screen in the car. Like your favorite one, you take the favorite one. Yeah. So you also can DIY for this. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So
There's DIY things where you can basically take what was the old in-stop switches and mount it to the head, so you're touching the bed with it instead of having the arm come down to touch the switch or whatever. And as long as we're making printers and people can fiddle with them, they'll come up with new variants of those systems. But those are the three basic ways we currently have.
oh, that's cool. That's really impressive for me. Yeah. And
Yeah, and then so let me touch a little bit on something that Damian Clark brought up. So the iteration of bed leveling. We're looking at doing a series talking about this stuff in video format. But what people also need to understand about these ABL systems is you'll hear people all the time that says, just get the thing close and let the software fix the out of flatness, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that the closest you can get the base tram of your bed, and the base tram would be having all four corners at about the same elevation. It doesn't matter what the shape of the rest of the bed is. If the four corners are all at the same elevation and height and tram to the machine, it will do the most optimal corrections digitally when we create a mesh and go to do that. If you put your bed a half millimeter or 3/4 millimeter out of cant, now it's using up what could be flatness straightening just to correct it for being out of level, right? So the closest you can have it this way before you do the fine mesh and corrections, the better results you're going to get. So yes, can you get away with not having it perfectly trimmed? Absolutely. Will you benefit from having it trimmed to the nth degree that you can manage? Definitely. So there's two halves to both.
nice, definitely. But it's asking for this one, right? And wonder would you do you know about this like CR touch, BR touch about this?
Yeah, I know the ABL system is auto leveling system. Yeah, and the CR touch, actually I don't know much about this. Yeah,
ABL system, yeah, it's for leveling the bed.
yeah, it's really grateful.
I think Wanda should answer like this because she print a lot. So actually, she does not care which sensor. She just want it print without any problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, any sensor. I think maybe Wanda from a very newbie customer perspective. I just want the prints. I do not want to know the details like which things to use. But actually, yeah, yeah, because I think this team, especially, they also doing some projects, so they often just want to get the result. But anyway, yeah, each of these systems is a little bit different, and as Luke explained, yes, if you're
Yeah.
tech savvy, you may be one know which is even better for some circumstances. Yeah, or some period. Yeah.
To learning this is like it's really good for us to learning this because we got project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let's get started. Next topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
So
the
the Holden.
words. Yeah, the Holden top.
It's the like printing platform is bigger, better or not? Yeah. As in my opinion, we got T500 in Cambro. Yeah. So we can print like a 500 plus 500. Yeah. So but it have a very heavier weight. Yeah. It's almost nearly 40 kilograms, and it is almost impossible for one person to lift it, and let alone move it from the first floor to the second floor without an elevator. And and also it also take out more space. Yeah. And I think the bigger printing platform is not good for me. But recent day I'm plan to print a violin, and now I need the large print space. So I don't know. That's yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, the large print size is when you love it because
Yeah.
when you demand it, yeah, you need it when you love it.
Yeah.
So I
Having
need
having access to multiple size printers, I think if they said you guys can only make one size printer, I would say 350 millimeter cube. That would be the optimal size.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
can
that's true.
basically get a full size helmet in that per user. That's why the Ender 5 Plus, I think, still holds a really good place in the community, basically because of its build volume. And having had the larger machines, I mean, it's really cool. I printed the full dome for the R5D59 for my son's droid. We did it all in one piece. It took 17 days, almost 4 kilograms of filament. That's neat, but not everybody needs that, and a lot of people just don't have that kind of space in their house, right?
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
sort of
that's true.
that 300 to 350 millimeter, I think, is the sweet spot if you're torn between um, size and not wanting to do multiple parts that have to be glued or bonded together. That's just my 2 bits on what I think a optimal size is, especially if you're only going to have one printer.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you're having multiple printers in the space, then you do you. You'll find what works best for you.
Look, do you mind to show the prints for your son if you have any picture? Or the
Oh, you're gonna put that.
original design of that. Yeah, if you have any.
yeah, no.
Oh man,
Yeah. Well,
I almost have to log into this with my phone and then try and share the picture. But
yeah.
you want to see some of the pictures on a big print like that?
Yeah. I want to see how much. Yeah. How big is that? So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. You guys talk about something else for a minute because it'll take me a second to get there, but I'll see if I can get
So we continue
my
and then
phone
look
in.
maybe find later and the one that yeah. What your thoughts?
Yeah. I think larger print size is better. Yeah, and it can save your it improve the printing efficiency. Yeah, and you can choose larger print model and don't and like I'm doing a project that is a Hogwarts model, and if I use SVO 7 Plus, I have to slice it into 2 parts. But if I use Computer T500 and
can print it as
I can
whole.
print I can print whole and really save time and energy. Yeah.
Sorry,
Small one.
I'm trying to turn it off.
It's good. Okay, so for me, like I always feel like the larger, yeah, the larger print size is like makes the machine is heavier, right? And when it print is maybe the move the louds, the noise maybe a little bit louder than the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah, very noisy, but you know when you need the big print size,
Yeah.
yeah, you love it as much, you love it as
Yeah.
hell. Yeah, because when I saw some model, this model is about like uh the really big shotgun and really nice knife, and some maybe some is like a part of a car, and I was like so interested in. But if I want to print it, using the 500, maybe is, yeah, it's more impressive, more yeah, than the smaller one. They are more convenient. Yeah, and that time I love the noise. Yeah, when it printed it as a big model, as a whole thing. Yeah, don't need to split apart. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if
I,
it'll work out, Ben, but I sent a picture of the T500 with the print that you might be able to put up in the show. I was going to try and do it from my phone, but I couldn't figure out how to present the desktop from the phone.
oh, it's yeah. I think all right. But anyway, I think Paul just maybe show the pros and cons of this large print size, right? Yeah, the good thing and the bad things, but so it depends.
Yeah, it depends
Yeah,
people
yeah,
demand and yeah,
yeah.
depends people need and demand. We get the resource available.
Maybe a question and answer here. So, oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we get a date on the open source will be available as promises? Yeah. Actually, we just did it, right?
Yeah, we just did it last week, right?
Yeah, SVO 6 is already open source.
Oh, yeah.
SVO 7 with Klipper is also open source,
So,
and
yeah,
and SVO 6 with Klipper we are working on and should release I think very soon. Yeah.
yeah, maybe you guys can looking forward it.
Yeah, so everything we already done, we are uploaded to the GitHub. So you could check our GitHub to find if our promise is a promise or we already did it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can show the yeah website here, the GitHub. Maybe you can search Sovol 3D and Sovol ClipPy system. Yeah, you can search for this. That's really good. Yeah. So the pros and cons about the large print size is already like, yeah, maybe so in summarize, it depends people need, depends people demand. Yeah.
So somebody's
So
asking for hints on the Core XY you're working on, what kind of build volume it might have. Is that something that can be disclosed?
it's not out of spreadsheet, not open source file.
Okay, you maybe just put that
Yeah.
comment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Patrick said that the SOA07 is not on there. The Keeper pad GitHub is shows how to flash it, not the open source files. Yeah. I think since SOA7 already have the Clipper system built in, so it's already open source. Assume the things not open source do not open source should be the SO7 Clipper screen. I will double check for that. And one thing I already mentioned, actually, Sovol want to open source it, but since our partner is maker based, they just build this screen board. So I will double check for that. If no, it's no. But I know it's so product. We could not blame our partners, but I just want to tell the reason that why they do not open source, because they think they do something about it with the screen. Yes, they just spend so many human resources or money on that screen. We just purchase it as accessories or parts, so they do not commitment in the beginning. They will open source, but anyway, I will double check for that for the SVO7 Clipper screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can't speak for them, but or for you for that matter, but if their stuff is going to get copied, it's going to get copied. They're going to buy a piece, they're going to tear it apart and reverse engineer it. That being said, they're going to sell a lot more of their product through you if we get that open source earlier, because it will increase your volume of customers and then give them more sales. So I think long term it's in their financial best interest, because the gain in additional customers through the open source versus the loss from keeping it private to try and stop or slow down the copying would not match up. But that's my opinion, and I know that they're businesses and they have their own decisions to make. But over time, I think we can show that holding the cards close to the vest hurts more than helps, because it will get copied eventually.
Yeah.
All right, I had to leave there for a minute. Is there any questions that came up that we should have addressed that haven't got taken care of?
So as I remember, like SB07 open source. It sounds like open source for it's last week. It's posted on the last week in GitHub. Yeah. Should be 07. So maybe the file we will double check it. Can we find the file or not? Because I saw the website is already like preparation and something else is all the details there. And yeah, we will check for this. So how about let's jump to the last topic. Yeah. So one last topic,
So
advantage and disadvantage, different type of filament.
yeah. And next, I will discuss the advantage and disadvantage of several commonly used 3D printing filaments. Yeah, and the first is the ABIs. This is a material with high strength and heat resistance, suitable for making durable parts and models. It's easy to process and surface treat, and it can be machined and chemically treated for a smooth surface. Yeah. However, it's important to know that ABIs can produce harmful gases when you are printing. So I think be careful when you're using ABIs. So next is the PETG, which is a good chemical resistance and transparency, and it has good chemical resistance and transparency for applications that require transparency or corrosion resistance. Yeah, and it also has high strength. And when you want to choose a stronger material, you can choose PETG. And the next is TPU. Yeah, TPU has good softness, and which makes suitable for making elastic parts or soft products. I have seen many bloggers printing shoes or clothes with TPU, and I think that's really interesting. I would like to try it sometime. Obviously, and the advantage of TPU is soft and flexible. Yeah, but because of its softness, it also be more demanding for the printers. Yeah, and the last is the PLA. Yeah, which I use most frequently. Yeah, as we all know, PLA is biodegradable material and it's very friendly to the environment. It's easy to print and process. Yeah, and it's non-toxic. However, it compared to other material, it's less stronger, but it's not suitable for high temperature environment. It's soften and easy to break. So I'm curious, what filaments do you use? Do you guys use regularly? Yeah, for me, it's PLA. Yeah, definitely.
For me, I was use PLA. For me, I was use the PLA mostly, but one thing is I really love to try to print as ABS material because I really love in the keyboard. So the head of keyboard is like made in like ABS, I think, right? So I really wanna like DIY the special heads for the keyboard. I really love I really love it. I used to saw like someone post the keyboard by different color for the head. It's made in ABS. It's really nice. And also L3D says TPU is great for cell phone case. Yeah, cell phone case. Yeah,
Yeah.
the material is like the soft and maybe can protect the phone. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's like Chinese people like really love the cell phone case, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's made in TPU. Maybe it's also really common common
yeah.
material. Yeah, maybe in the future we can try to try to print by
Yeah,
this material.
yeah,
So far we try PLA the most, right?
yeah, yeah.
So Roland, uh, what material would you like?
Yeah, maybe I got PLA because I can find it everywhere, and it's very easy to print. Also, you have a variety of colors, and that's all my opinions.
Yeah.
So, Luke,
What about you?
what about you?
All right. So of all the plastics that I use PLA the most because it's inexpensive and easy to use. Uh, most anything I want to make that's durable, I like to make out of PETG or PETG.
Yeah, ETG.
I have done a fair amount of work with ABS. If you're going to work with ABS, have an enclosure outside of the occupied areas, or have at least a 1 hour settlement period for all the material to settle in your enclosure before you open it. It has its own little quirks, and you have to keep the heat volume enclosed. I'm really a fan of nylon, but nylon is very difficult to work with. Um, you have to find a good manufacturer, and honestly, when I want to do something good in nylon, I pre-warm it or dry it out for at least 2 days, and generally feed it right from the heated dryer in an enclosed path all the way to the printer because it's hygroscopic. It wants to suck moisture out of the air. And even though we're not super high humidity where I'm at, there's enough humidity in the air, it will grab it given the opportunity. So, yeah, and PETG, this is a chance to mention it. PETG, when you get it, it might be sealed and it might have silicone in it. Those silicone desiccant things only collect a little bit of moisture trapped in a roll when it was sealed up. They do not take moisture out of the filament. I don't care what anybody wants to try and tell you about that. Um, and PETG is not as bad as nylon, but it is hygroscopic. And when they manufacture it, they run it through water to cool it down. So if you get PETG and you really want to have good results early on, try it for at least 4 hours before you start. Just do yourself that favor. If anybody tells you that that's coming in dry, they're usually wrong. I've printed, I don't know, I've lost track, over 30 kilos of PETG. and it needs to be dry. It's not as hard to dry as others, but moisture does play a part. But yeah, so
Okay.
that's the primary ones that I play around with.
Yeah, I think we maybe make some mistakes in the beginning that it should be SVO7. Yeah, actually we already doing some progress. Maybe I think we do not completely 100% open source with SVO7 or 7 plus, but we I think making a huge step forward. So this is details on the screen I just share. Okay, so anybody interested in the progress or about our promise I just said, okay, we are really working on this. So that's the progress we already made, and we will continue push forward. We maybe not 100%, but this is the direction, as I said. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
And back to the filament topic, that I just want to ask a question to look at what do you talk about filament usually also related to the filament dryer box. What do you think about this accessories which specifically relate to the filament? Yeah, the dryer box. Do you use filament dryer box? Yeah.
So I store all my TPU, because TPU is hygroscopic as well. But I store my TPU, ABS, and PETG in a sealed lid dry box. I have like 2 gallons worth of the desiccant in there so that when I do open it and close it, whatever air gets introduced, it will pull that moisture out of the air into the desiccant. And then the dryers, um, I have one Sunlu dryer. Don't quote me on that. It could be an Arion one. It is Arion. So I have one dryer. It only gets up to like 50 or 55 C, which is right below where I want to be. I like to be about 60-ish degrees if I'm drying filament. And when I'm really trying to dry filament, I have an old food dehydrator that I have modified to be able to do it, because the food dehydrator can get me up to that 60 degrees C and keep it there for a long time.
And so I used to saw a comments ask me like the dryer box. So the dryer box, when you use it, is that correct? You open it or you lock it? So officially replied is for that is like when you use it, you have to like open it a slight gap, right? Yeah, you have to open it. So so for my personally advice for the dryer box, maybe uh maybe not only 2 rows space, maybe more space dryer box is like the people maybe will more like to use it. Yeah. So for me like, because like you got lot of filament, but you only like dry 2 filament. I think this like maybe we can like design the bigger space, bigger volume for the dryer box.
So you mean
Yeah,
more kind of
I think
coaster
there's a push to have dry boxes that have heaters that have 4 or more spools of filament in it all at once. Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, actually, we are since Soul's filament dry box already sell for a while, so we are already developing a new one. I think this is also a new option.
Yeah, new option.
Yeah, for more. I don't know if you what do you mean is cost effective. You just when you dry the filament, you just dry more compared to
Yeah,
dry
compare
two spool of filament, maybe 4. Maybe you use the same. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I
just
get it.
personally like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Since temporarily in the market, I think except Bamboo have this uh, filament dryer, maybe not called filament dryers. They are AMS system, or for the X1 or something. They have 4 spools of filament. I do not recall any other even the filament dryers manufacturer like Sunlu or stuff. I don't know if they have this 4. Maybe the latest
I,
Dropbox 84. I don't know.
I know I've seen 2 spoolers. I want to say that I saw a force spooler the other day when I was kicking around on Amazon, but don't quote me on it. But I know a lot of people would rather have more than less in one unit. They're going to spend the money and put the heat to the environment. If you're drying 4 at once, you're getting more drying for your money, as it were. I'm not saying that that's the end all or whatever. It's just the thought I had and what I sort of see happening in the wild or in the field, as it were.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have any?
So yeah, do you guys have any question? And maybe we can do the Q&A part. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
here for solve the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hope we can.
Yeah. Or we just see you all next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the war.
Yeah. And
The-
yeah, I think maybe still one thing that thank you so much for Luke joining, and thank you everybody
Yeah.
here, Paul, Wanda, and also Holden to share the topic. We really enjoy the show, and I hope that you guys enjoy, or
Yeah.
even some people only could enjoy the audio, but we are trying our best. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So we so much appreciate Luke can join us and
Mhm.
help us to answer the question. Yeah, so appreciate it. Thank you, Luke. Hope you have
You're
a
welcome.
good
I,
night. Yeah.
I always enjoy the discussion. I end up
Uh,
text chatting with people more than anything.
yeah.
oh, I see a question here.
Question
Yeah.
for this one?
Yeah. Does Sovol have any plans to introduce a MMU upgrade in the future? Yeah. Oh, this is a very interesting topic. I think Luke talked about it last time. I think last week or the week before last week, actually CoPrint just come to China, and then they come to our office. We have a chat, and we are working on some stuff, but we will see. We will see. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's the group
time's
I
gonna
took.
tell on that one. I see the enthusiasm. Everybody sees the mini bamboos with the force pull multicolor, but will it be a fad or the new trend? I think it's more of a fad. Having owned an MMU, or I guess technically mine is a multi-spool feeder. So would it be that an MSF? I have the
Yes.
pallet too. But anyhow, having the ability to use the palette too slices colors together so you can do the multi thing. It's not quite as material efficient as the bamboo thing, but I early on figured out that multicolor printing, unless you're a manufacturer and doing 10, 20, 30 of whatever you're multicoloring, is not very material friendly. You have more weight. If you do a 1-for-1 part, your print block will have more waste in it than the part that you made. And then also there's a high risk there, right? As much as we love our printers, occasionally they fail. So if you do a large bed of multicolored things and it goes wrong, you're going to lose a whole bed full of wrong colored things, right? So there's some pitfalls to MMUs in their application. I think they're neat. I think some people want to have them around. I like bulk. Mine's a bulk feeder. I would like to see. I think over time we'll start to see a few more IDEX printers. I think I saw a new release of an IDEX recently, and if somebody could do it somewhat affordably, where you could get into maybe even a triple printer set, triple head setup, um, that might be fun to play around with. So you can have 3 different types of materials in the same print. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
will
true.
tell. I don't know that it's that MMUs are going to drive the way for the new wave of the future per se.
Yes. And it was still a joke. You mean idea have to assume the risk? Yeah. No, this joke.
Yeah, if you really want to have a multi-filament, I apologize for not remembering the gentleman's name, but one of the big proponents of my hot and fix is a proponent of the hot and fix because he does multi-material on Creality printers, and his material exchange extrusion amount, it's basically the poop that bamboo makes, was the least amount with putting my hot and fix in because the transitions are faster because there's no little gap full of junk causing the transition to bleed color. And but he has free open source plans for making a multi-material thing, and it's I think he does them in units of 4, but it's that whole multiplexing thing like they're doing. You can do 4, you can do 8, you can do 12, you can do as many as you want, as long as you want to buy stepper motors and make all the little Y diverters and all those types of things. The more you add, the longer the print takes because they all have to go back and park some distance away from the hot end. Yeah.
Okay, there's.
Okay. So Sky Sniper asks like, does Sovol have plan to make upside down 3D printer for better weight and speed in Core XY? Core XY.
Yeah, I this is very interesting project. I saw this. I think their first version came out like 2 years ago maybe, and they have a second version. And I don't know. I do not know. If Luke said this there, I know that seems like I don't recall the details. LDO motors they kind of have authorized this get the authorized of this from the original creator. Yeah, this is
I
really
will tell you
done.
that gravity is not in your favor when it comes to machine tolerances working upside down, especially if the print head's underneath, because now your gravity's pulling down on the bed, and even if you push it from the bottom, any looseness in the attachment of the bed to your movement system is now getting pushed against. And I mean, I can't say that it won't work, but you're not gaining a huge advantage there, right? I could see it being an advantage maybe if you're doing a single side drive system and not wanting it to deflect as much. But even at that, as you add your weight to the print bed mass or whatever, you're still loading it. So I don't know. I don't see it as being a big industry changer running those upside down. And it's fun to watch in a video, but I wouldn't want to mess with it. Actually.
Yeah. So we just saw the upside down 3D printer. It's really funny project. Maybe in the future, yeah, someone will figure it out.
Yeah, I will just share the screen. I think let everybody know what you are talking about here. Yeah.
I do like the idea of putting
Yeah. Actually, I want. Yeah.
I have a print mill, and it may end up on a wall before its life cycle ends, because then gravity's sort of working in your favor.
Yeah. Sorry. I want to say that actually, first time I saw this printer, I just sent to boss. So sent to my boss, but yeah, he said we maybe need more time. Yeah, and save later. Maybe later, yeah. When when R&D got stronger, and maybe we can cooperate with the original creator. But I see, actually, that already there is some manufacturer maybe already put out some option there. Yes, but this is really cool. But as Luke said, from technical side, maybe it have some cons. We will see. Yeah, but temporarily for Sovol, we know it a long time ago, but it depends later. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see in the future. Maybe we can figure out.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Thanks for the. Thanks.
We like people on the fringe. They help bring stuff around, like the the Creality print mill started out as, what do they call it, the Black Knight. I saw it at Earth a couple of years before they partnered
Yes.
with Creality and made one or whatever. So
Yeah.
these things can bring around good things, but some of them some are winners and some are losers. Only
Yeah.
time will tell.
Okay.
I guess we're saying goodbye.
That's true.
Good night.
Yeah, it's time to say goodbye. So thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it. Appreciate that you here to helping us to answer the question. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's our really glad to see you. Yeah, we're glad to see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
So bye everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye everyone. Thank you for your